Hi, I'm Dr. Langley here at Pine Ridge Family Medicine on the other side of my office from where I usually do videos. One of the most common, especially sports or really just any kind of injuries that I see, sports medicine kind of injuries, are tendinitises. So these are extra painful because they take so long to go away. So any place that you have a tendon, pretty much you can get a tendinitis. Tendinitis just means an inflammation of the tendon. They're also sometimes called tendonopathies, meaning there's something wrong with the tendon and it's hurting. I see these frequently in elbows on the inner side as golfer's elbow, on the outer side is tennis elbow, though I always get those mixed up. And those tend to hurt right around there. I see them a lot in knees, patellar tendonitis. I see them a lot at ankles for Achilles tendonitis. But really you can then, rotator cuff injuries are often forms of tendonitis. So they're tricky to get rid of. They take a long time to get rid of. Why is that? Because tendons, unlike muscles, which have a good nervous supply, good blood supply, especially to help them heal, tendons don't have that. Tendons are pretty much avascular. They don't really have blood vessels running through them, running to them. They're just there to be strong. So if they're irritated and inflamed, they're really going to bother you and they're going to stick around for a long time because it's hard to get them better. So there's all sorts of different ideas out there about how to make them better. There's cool new technologies that might prove to be awesome, like sclerotherapy or prolotherapy. But one of the things that I'm most convinced by is called eccentric exercises. It tends to be a long commitment to get it better, but in a couple months, if you don't do anything, it's probably still going to be around. So you might as well start the eccentric exercises if you can sooner. So the idea of eccentric exercises is it's the opposite of concentric exercises. So usually, we're going to talk about the bicep because it's an easy muscle to demonstrate and understand. So usually when you lift weights, you're thinking about building up the muscle by contracting right here. That's a concentric action of the muscle. And that's what makes the muscle stronger. So the theory is that makes the muscle stronger, but it's actually the lengthening motion that makes the tendon stronger. So that's what we want to work on more. Usually with a biceps tendonitis, you'll get pain up here. So this is actually applicable to a possible injury you might have. So what does that mean in all reality? So one thing that you could do for the bicep, this takes some creativity. How do you make the load on your muscle and tendon to be stronger in the lengthening rather than the crunching, rather than the concentric? So for this, I might take, if I had a biceps tendonitis, I would take one of those elastic bands, and instead of standing on it, which would put the tension on the muscle as it's contracting here, I would instead tie it behind me. So the muscle isn't the one doing the contracting nearly as much as lengthening, and the tendon is getting stronger that way. So instead of the hard part being right there coming up, the hard part would be going down against resistance. It can be tricky to think about how to do these, so I encourage you to look on YouTube for specific injuries, specifically how to do this. So for example, let me redirect the camera to demonstrate for a patellar tendonitis, for example, you'd actually want to be standing on a little bit of a ramp that you found. So maybe like set a board on the ground with a brick on one side so that your toes are pointing up. Sorry, you can't really see my toes. So you want your toes up, and that helps put a lot of tension on your knees in a good way. And another one of the big parts is that you want to make sure that it's slow. You want a fairly heavy load and you want it to be slow. So usually when you're doing squats, you're coming down and going up. Okay, that's all nice. But if you're specifically trying to concentrate on the tendons, like your patellar tendons, then you want to actually pick up one leg on your way up so that you're putting the most tension on that tendon in the front of your knee as it's being stretched out. So you want to go down with one leg up. Sorry, even I get mixed up once in a while. You want to go down with one leg as that muscle and tendon is stretching out. And then when it crunches, you want to put your other leg down so that it's taking some of the load off the muscle. And long time of tension means about 6 seconds. So if you can count slowly to yourself, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, all the way to 6, that's good. And then you put your leg down. so that you can take some of the load off the muscle as it's contracting. And that's one idea of how you would do eccentric exercises for your patellar tendon. Same kind of idea for an Achilles tendon injury, is that you want to allow the muscle to contract. So if you're going to do heel raises, that's a great way to work out your calf. But if you're trying to work on the tendon, your Achilles tendon, it's not the up part that matters as much as the down. So if I were going to work on a right-sided Achilles tendonitis with eccentric exercises, I would go up with both feet, and then I would stand on my affected leg and slowly over 6 seconds go down to make sure that I'm working out that tendon. So again, go up, concentric contraction of the muscle with both legs, then really put the tension on that tendon and slowly go down over 6 seconds. I could do this on a stair to get even better increased range of motion, really make sure that I'm working it out. But that's just a basic intro to what eccentric exercises are, what they're for, so that maybe you can apply that to whatever injury you have going on. Look for eccentric exercises, ECCENTRIC, for your specific injury to find some more detailed ideas. But hopefully that gets you started on something. Be sure to look at my other videos here about other sports medicine topics and subscribe to my channel so you can see when I have new videos come out as well. Thanks for watching.